Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So today we actually have a really big story to talk about. As you guys can see up on the screen, there's this tweet from LOL Esports that says MSI 2020 group draw and prize updates. Now, we're still a couple of weeks away, maybe even a month away from MSI, so this was a little bit weird to me, a little bit crazy. Usually the group draw isn't until you actually know the teams that are going. Usually the group draw maybe has a little hype or fanfare or something around it, but for whatever reason, Riot decided to go with kind of like a low-key group draw where I don't even know if people knew that this was coming out today, if this was scheduled. Again, I'm on Twitter, Reddit, all that stuff all the time, and I didn't hear about this. I didn't know this is coming out today, but again, this is March 30th at, this was about 45 minutes ago, so I mean, this is like really new stuff. In this video today, we'll be going over the group draw, so you can see whatever your favorite team, whatever your favorite region, whatever, who they're going to be taking on in the group stages of MSI, and then just how everything's going to be going as well. We'll also go over the new prize updates too, because honestly, there's some pretty exciting and pretty interesting stuff in there to talk about. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. It's probably the easiest and best way to help support my channel and my content. If you're interested in that, also subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I think yesterday we actually just hit 6,500 subscribers, so that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. You know that 7,000 is on the horizon now, so that's up next. Hopefully we can get there, relatively soon. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So we have this article. I know my head's going to be cutting off some of it. All right, I got a big head. But it's called MSI 2021 Group Draw and Prize Update. So they say that MSI is fast approaching. We have some updates to share. Please see below for more information on the MSI starting groups as well as the prize update. So the midseason invitational features the top team from each region, which allowed us to conduct the draw ahead of the region's playoff results. All 12 regions were split into the 4 tiers below. And again, I get it that they can, do the group draw beforehand, since the actual team doesn't matter, since it's just the top team from every tier. I have had a lot of people ask me that as well. I know some people have been watching competitive League of Legends for years and know everything about MSI, but some people are brand new, or some people just started watching last year where there was no MSI. So MSI is the team that wins the playoffs in every single region. It's the #1 team after the spring playoffs from every single region comes together for a big tournament. It is considered a major international tournament, but in the world of League of Legends, it is kind of a tier below Worlds. If you win an MSI title, that's cool, that's awesome, but at the end of the day, it doesn't compare to a world title at all. Maybe it should, maybe it shouldn't, I don't know, but for whatever reason, in the eyes of a lot of people, like when G2 won MSI, but then got second at Worlds, that was kind of seen as a failure to a lot of people. They did get memed about that. Like, yeah, it was cool to win MSI, and it's cool to win that international title, and it is the #1 team from every region, but it's just the spring split tournament. It's just kind of the halfway point. It's the mid-season invitational. So I know a lot of people have asked how many teams are going to be at this tournament. How does a team qualify? That's how many teams. Just one team from every single region, and it's kind of an interesting idea and concept, honestly. So here is the tiers of the regions that are going to be at the MSI. In Tier 1, we have China, Europe, and Korea. Obviously, those have been the 3 best performing regions in terms of MSI and World results over the past couple of years. We've seen, obviously, China and Korea both winning titles, Europe making it to the finals a couple times, G2 making semifinals last year. So that makes a lot of sense. Those are the top 3 regions. In Tier 2, North America is widely seen as the 4th best region in terms of results at MSI and Worlds as well. Their record would say that they are solidly the 4th best team, so it makes sense that they are the 2nd best region. They've also made it to an MSI final. They've also made it to a World semifinal in the past couple of years. They've had certainly some better results than some of the minor regions. And then also in Tier 2, we have Vietnam and Southeast Asia. In Tier 3, we have Turkey, CIS, and Latin America. And then in Tier 4, we have Japan, Brazil, and Oceania. So that is the tiers. That's how they're going to do the group draws. You're going to get 3 groups of 4 teams, 1 team from each tier. So China, Europe, and Korea cannot be in the same group. They're going to split those up. Those are going to be, the leaders of the pack in these groups. These tiers were based on the results of the last 2 years of international tournaments, such as 2020 World. Tom Martell, Global Director of Operations, conducted the group draw utilizing software to randomly assign teams to the different competitive groups. And again, it's weird that we're not getting to see this. That there's not like video, or there wasn't like proof or a show or something exciting to build up hype and fanfare, but also to prove the legitimacy. Because I mean, if you're just doing it kind of behind the scenes, they could have done whatever they wanted. It could be a little corrupt. I don't know. It just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but whatever. Here it is. here is the groups. In Group A, we have the LPL, VCS, LCL, and LCO. In Group B, we have the LEC, PCS, TCL, and CB LOL. And in Group C, finally, we have LCK, LCS, LLA, and LJL. So these groups should be really, really interesting, really, really exciting. The qualifying team from each region will be based on the region's respective regular season playoff schedule. Once the final teams are determined, they'll meet in Iceland for the first day of matches on May 6th. So yeah, it's over a month away. So I think this is really, really early to be putting out group brackets and or group draws and stuff like this. But I'm definitely curious how these groups are kind of standing out to you guys. If I remember correctly, it's I want to say it's double round robin where either the top two or top three teams make it to like the next stage. I know there's like 3 stages of it. So, you know, for the most part, the top 2 teams should be getting out in each group. That should be interesting. And then there's kind of like a round robin from there where all the teams are going to get to play against each other. So at this tournament, I think is set up really, really well. At the beginning, we get to see some of the higher teams taking on the lower teams, and it'll be interesting to see who makes it out of groups. But then after groups, since it's round robin and everybody plays everybody, at that point, we'll get LPL against LCK, we'll get LEC against LPL, we'll get those top matchups, and we'll really get to see where each region is. We won't miss out on any of kind of the matchups of your favorite teams or your favorite regions or whatever, because sometimes if you just do like a playoff bracket, the matchups don't always work out to where some of the most hyped games, they actually don't end up happening. So this will be really, really cool that we'll get to actually see most of these regions going head to head against each other, and hopefully by the end of this tournament, actually see where a lot of these regions end up. This gets us into the next part, which is actually really, really hype and really exciting and really crazy, the MSI prize update. So this year, the MSI Champion League will receive the additional regional team spot at Worlds. So this is crazy. This is something new. The past couple of years, the major regions have gotten 3 teams. You know, LCS, LCK, LEC, and LPL have gotten 3 teams. But they have given an additional slot to the teams who have had the 2 best performances over the past 2 years, over the past 4 international events, I believe. So, like last year, you know, we saw Mad Lions get into the play-ins as the 4th team from the LEC because Europe was being rewarded for their past performances and stuff. And yeah, that does make sense to an extent, but also it was kind of weird that Mad Lions are now reaping the benefits of 2018 Worlds performances from European teams. You know, things change fast in League of Legends and in the world. So I actually like this way, way better, that the MSI champion at the time this year, the most relevant information, the most recent international performance we have, they're going to be getting the additional world spot. I think that's a much better way to decide it, but also makes it way, way more hype. Because just because you win MSI, you know, who knows how things are going to work out. You're guaranteeing yourself a little bit of breathing room in making it to Worlds, but also you're just helping out your region. You're getting bragging rights, and you're getting another team. So your whole region, all the teams, all the players, all the fans want to get behind you. You know, if you're a Korean fan of the 4th best team, you know, you're like Hanwha Life or DRX or whoever in kind of that middle of the upper pack in the LCK, you really want Damwon to go win MSI, or you really want T1 to go win MSI, you're going to be tuning in, you're going to be rooting for them because it increases your favorite team's chances of going to Worlds, which is the biggest stage and the most exciting League of Legends of the whole season and of the whole year. And like being a TSM fan myself, there's been some years where they haven't qualified for Worlds, and that sucks. That's not fun at all. That, you know, you're getting to watch just a bunch of other teams, you know, and wondering how your favorite team would have done or how your favorite players would have done or whatever. So I think this will be really, really cool. Should increase kind of fan viewership, fan engagement, all of that. And then also the next update is that after MSI concludes, the final global power rankings for 2021 will be calculated. The highest ranking league will get an additional slot unless that region also won MSI. In that case, the slot would pass down to the 2nd highest ranking league in the power rankings. So I'm not exactly sure how the global power rankings work or whatever. I don't know if that's, using the past results from international tournaments or whatever, but this MSI is going to be factored into that. And then again, depending on how you do in this, it will also impact the 2nd region that gets that 4th slot at Worlds, if it is a region with 3, which we assume it's going to be, Europe, LCK, or LPL. But we'll see how that goes. But again, just adding extra stakes to MSI, not only the team that wins, not only do they get bragging rights, they get the trophy, they get the international title, they also help out their region, but then also everybody else needs to really fight for the highest position they can, because placing a little bit higher could put your region a little bit over the top and could really help you out and go a long way for your region, for your fans, for your teams, for your players, for your orgs, and it could be just really, really cool. But yeah, this, again, it was something I was not expecting, but we got a ton of news coming out today. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on the new format for MSI, the group draw. I'll definitely post more videos going over exactly how all this works. I've already posted a video about MSI, so you guys can find that on my channel, but I will also post like an updated video now that we have the groups and everything, with kind of maybe my predictions of how I think all the different stages are going to go, just so I can explain a little bit further how actually the different stages, I know there's 3 different stages, but it's been like a month or something since I made that video, so I don't exactly remember how it all goes, but we can definitely go over all that stuff. But I'd love to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on just these groups, what kind of groups standing out to you, what group is the most interesting. Obviously, my mind is going to the LCK LCS group, because LPL, you know, doesn't have another major region, LEC doesn't have another major region, but the LCK has the LCS in it, and I don't expect the LCS to beat the LCK, obviously, but those are going to be some hype games. Those are going to be a lot of memes. Those are going to be hilarious to see just how close the LCS is to the LCK. Are they miles away? Do they get absolutely dominated? Do they get obliterated? Or do they maybe make them sweat a little bit? Do they drag out the game? Can they actually get some kills? Can they, you know, make it a little bit interesting? Obviously, the LCS historically has not done very well against Korea, but it could be interesting. And then also seeing, is the LCS going to drop any games to the minor regions? Is the LEC going to go undefeated, or are they going to struggle? Is the LPL going to struggle? You know, you really never know, but it's going to be a ton of fun. There's going to be a ton of storylines. I love MSI. I think it deserves more hype. I think it deserves more kind of credibility and everything, but yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Again, it's a different format. They're changing stuff up. You never really know if it's going to be better or worse until you actually see it play out and everything. So we'll kind of go from there. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so, so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole MSI, the groups, the format, anything? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.